game sucks! And it's an LJN game. Nobody can defend that. Although I've heard it's not that bad. Maybe it's not as bad as Mike looks. Let's find out if this is a hated gem. So Jaws on the NES and I go way back. It and that horrible game Werewolf were two of the earliest disappointments I can remember. I may have even gotten them for the same Christmas or birthday. Oh wow, Jaws! More like claws. Who cares about Jaws when you will have to face the claws? Meows. Rewind just had to say we needed to see more of that guy. Damn. I got Jaws, and typically I start the game and I die, lose all of my lives, there's no continues, and game was over. No idea what was going on, had no idea how to play it. I was 4 at the time, hated it, and I sold it. Didn't sell many of my games, but Jaws was one of the ones I got rid of. So yeah, I had hated Jaws ever since then. And then when I found out that LJN games and movie tie-in games were all bad, it made sense, because I also don't like Friday the 13th. Well, you know, this game actually wasn't even made by LJN. It was published by LJN. They didn't develop it. That's probably why this game is pretty good. If only someone was around to defend these games. Well, maybe he'd be able to break it down. So let's see what it's like. Start the game, and you control a ship. The ship gets attacked or hits stuff, and then you get into a side-scrolling kind of shooter level where you have to avoid getting hit by jellyfish, stingrays, little sharks, and Jaws himself. You have a harpoon gun that shoots in a line and takes a certain amount of hits to kill stuff. Once they're dead, they either drop shells, they drop crabs that are for points, stars that are for points, and that's about it. The shells are the currency in the game. The more shells you get, you can then travel to the opposite port to then get an upgrade. That's pretty much my favorite scene in the movie, is when they go to the other port and trade in seashells, then get their upgrades. Man, Steven Spielberg was way ahead of his time. Way ahead of his time. First upgrade is the Jaws tracker, and that's just a little remote thing that lets you know if Jaws is nearby. And then every subsequent one will give you an extra power level up until 9. Then after you get level 9 power, if you continue to go, it just gives you extra probes. And the probes we'll get into later. And that's pretty much it. Man, this game looks phenomenal. All you do is go back and forth, get randomly run aground, get attacked by Jaws, and then die instantly. Oh man, what a wonderful game based on a movie. You keep going back and forth until you have enough power to kill Jaws. Once you damage Jaws in the 2D plane, it then goes to a pseudo 3D thing where you have to ram him with your boat. That's where the probes come in, is when you use a probe, it makes Jaws do a pirouette, and then you have to ram him in the stomach. Game over. And that's it. If you know what you're doing, you could probably beat this game in 3 or 4 minutes. Oh yeah, wow. That's some interesting stuff, Lucious. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I quite enjoyed I don't know, maybe it took me 2-3 hours to beat it yesterday, 4 hours, I don't know. I died once and had to restart from the beginning, so that was a bummer. But it's not as bad as I initially thought. What happens is when you die, you lose your shark probe, your kind of the scanner, you lose your scanner, and then you also lose 1 power level. So if you're at level 7 and you die, you go down to level 6. So it's not as damning as I originally thought. And you have 3 lives. And honestly, the fun of the game is not getting hit once. Which as a 4-year-old, obviously that's not going to be a fun mechanic at all. As an adult, it's a nice little challenge. And that's what this game is. It's a nice little challenge. It's decent. I mean, honestly, the game design is pretty damn good. Wow, another game that you didn't like as a kid and now you played it as an adult and you didn't think it was that bad. Man, you were one dumb kid. The idea they had of going from port to port to increase your level while surviving Jaws until you finally can defeat him, and by the end of it, I managed to get the submarine, and the submarine affords you an extra hit while you're in the water, and it also gives you the ability to shoot faster, and you can also shoot a secondary weapon, which are the bombs. Now, I don't know if you could have done that on the other guy. I'm pretty sure that's just for the submarine, and By the time I got to power level 9 with the submarine, I was just wrecking house on Jaws. It was just a matter of getting the probe or the whatever the hell it's called to line up at the right time and stab him. That part's a little difficult. It took me a while. That's probably the when I got that, like, as far as the game design goes, that was the most annoying. But as far as making a game based on Jaws on the NES, what else are they gonna do? You know, what else are they gonna do? It's actually pretty damn clever. Man, that boat doesn't seem to be very good at defending Jaws. Good thing after you get attacked and your boat goes away, the boat comes right back. And why the heck does it get... How do you even know when you're done with a stage? It just randomly ends. There's no rhyme or reason, no time limit, no great music. This is a wonderful game. How could someone not love this? This was the best part of Jaws, when they picked up the seashells to upgrade their boat and then ram him in the chest. So I was very surprised. I like the game. I like the game a lot. It's not without its flaws. It's definitely not a long game. You can beat it in minutes if you know what you're doing. But challenge-wise, good. Now, my biggest complaint were the bonus stages. I wish the bonus stages were not so long and boring. You have these choreographed freaking jellyfish that you have to drop bombs on, and you get extra shells that way. It's just annoying. Other things is the water depth can change depending on where you run aground or where you get attacked by Jaws. So some of the areas, like the sandbar areas, can be very unfair, but not a bad thing. Not like the bonus levels. I really wanted to just kill myself after a while, and I didn't even know what to do the first time. The first time I just sat there and watched it, and I'm like, oh, it's some choreographed jellyfish. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah, in general, solid game. I'm glad I gave it another shot. As far as this being a hated or a gem, you know, I was going to say hated gem, but yeah, it's a hated gem. It's not quite a gem. It's still got problems. And I'm also being very forgiving of it now. I think it's more just now that I understand how to play it. But yeah, it's really not that bad. It's a hated gem. So definitely Jaws on the NES, pick it up and play it. That's your homework. Man, they're gonna need a bigger boat. They're gonna need a boat in general. There's no boat left. Oh yeah. Personal man submarine shooting out lasers. What a time. What a time. Alright, I've had it up to here with this. You don't even listen to me. One of these days, I'm gonna have to try to take over this show again. Maybe soon.